Hello. I hope that everybody can see me. This is Denise LaSalle Williams, and I'm not going to be here before you long, people. Let me just explain something. Everybody's going crazy with this coronavirus, right? And I understand it's not only just a symptom in the virus, but it's also a mental thing as well, because it's dealing with our physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental ability. So my thing is this: this is real. This is real, people. Just like any other disease, um, HIV, AIDS, gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, amen. Other transmitted disease that you can get. So it just is real. Any type of body contact that you have with somebody that has the infection or virus, it can transpire on you as well. It's just like having chicken pox. If somebody has the chicken pox, you can get it too. It doesn't matter if you've already had a chicken pox before. You can get a second chicken pox too. Now, my thing is that I want to just tell everybody, look, in my previous videos, I have said a lot of things, but I was real with it because we as people need to spend time with. This is the time now we need to spend time with our families, our loved ones, even if it's your grandmother or grandfather or other loved ones in a nursing home or residential center. They are prone and high risk of getting infections and viruses. And it doesn't mean they are sexual virus. It means they can have contact. Now imagine that your loved one is in a nursing home or a residential center, and you got nurses there, you got doctors there. Well, very few doctors, but you have people that transpire there in and out every day. And like I said before, people can cough and don't use their hands to cover their mouth. You might have somebody smoking a cigarette or whatever, and breathe over your loved one, and they can get secondhand smoke. Like I said, they can, just like kids do. If you get a runny nose, they wipe their hand on their sleeve, and imagine they touching your loved one like that. You got to understand that elderly, once they get about 65 or older, and it doesn't matter if they have dementia. Let's just say, for example, if they don't have dementia, let's say they don't have Alzheimer's. Let's just say that they are sent there because their loved ones don't want to see them at home by themselves, or that, it takes a lot of work, taking care of them, and then they have their house, that it takes a lot of responsibility. So mom and daddy can no longer take care of them. So they have to have somebody, be with them at all times. When the older children cannot be there because they have their own lives. So you have to understand that it is very serious, even in the nursing home, even in the residence center. I know what I'm talking about because I worked in those facilities, okay? And so imagine they're taking the base and the water and using that same water to wash your loved one's whole body with it, including their face. See, these are things that are very serious, and people don't want to take it seriously. I mentioned in my post before that I use two washcloths. One is my bath cloth, and the other one's my facial. And the reason that I do that, and the reason that I'm telling you to do that, is because of this coronavirus and other infection and viruses and diseases that are out here that have no cure. Okay, and what you use on your body, right? You do not use it on your face. Your face is sensitive, is open to pores. So just imagine you washing your period and you take that same cloth and wiping your face with it. That can be an infection, a virus, anything. You could get contaminated. So this is the reason why that you use another washcloth or face cloth and face towel for your face. I have even certain type of soaps that I use that are sensitive for my face, as well as I have certain for my body. Even though I made a little joke earlier in one of my previous posts that, if you take the brush and scrub down there, but it's real serious. Ladies, it's real serious because we as women are sensitive, and we have to be very more clean than men. We have to be able to do we, especially if you get discharges, or you're getting your PMS, which is your period. It's very serious. Keeping yourself clean at all times, making sure that you have 2 and 3 tampons or pads in your pocketbook. Um, and washing your hands at all times, having peroxide or hand sanitizer lotion to wipe your hands at all times, like when you're going for breakfast, lunch, dinner, cleaning something, wipes to wipe your computer desk off, wiping your table off before you put your tray down there. Even when you're on the plane, you have to wipe that tray, because once you leave that plane and another guest comes on there, or even before you came on there, people touches that tray. There's all kinds of people that be on there. Doesn't matter their race. It doesn't matter disability. People have dogs, like I have a dog, and little kids. They touch us different things. So you have to be very careful at all times. And like I said, this coronavirus is very serious. It doesn't matter what Trump says, okay? Why I say that? Because it's not an easy target. He has said in one of his videos, Trump has said that, this is soon going to be going away, and it's boom. It's like that. It doesn't work that way, Mr. Trump. If that was the case, then AIDS could have been like that. So this type of disease is very serious, because people coughs in your face. People talk to you. People don't wash their hands and they touch you. I always say, like even in the ministry, bacteria to bacteria. When somebody's hugging you and they can touch your clothing, and then you have to bring that bacteria back to your house. So just imagine this. This is very serious. Whether you're in the hospital, whether you're in a nursing home, whether you're in your own house, when your kids go to daycare, you got to also be mindful of that, because little kids, just like elderly, are prone to these type of environments, and they're high risk. So when your child goes to daycare, your child comes back with a cold. Common colds are different, like a little sneeze or a little cough, something that you could take Vicks with, something you could take Mucilex with. But when it's something that cannot be controlled by these antibiotics, is a very serious thing. And you have to take very precaution, because, again, kids come to school with certain type of environments. They come from an environment at home that they bring it to school. You don't know what they're carrying in their antibodies. Amen. So you have to be very careful with it, because like I say, they could touch the bathroom. Some people go into the bathroom, the stall, use the restroom, come out, don't wash their hands. Some might just rinse and don't wash. Some people just fix it behind and walk out the door, and they touches the door, even the faucet that they touch. And that goes for at home as well. This is very real. We have to be very careful. Even with some of you in sexual relationship, that's very serious. Even with STDs, because you could lay up with somebody that might have an infection or virus, and then sometimes that person may not even know they have it until it's too late. Or you could be living with an environment, a certain type of environment in your system, and don't even know it, don't feel no type of symptom. But then it might take effect after you have had sexual relationship with that person. Amen. So sometimes one person can be positive with a disease, and another person could be negative. And that's true. But you have to be careful at all times anyway. It doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, where you're home, where you live at. A disease is just a disease. It just have not no certain name or age on it. And it's very serious. And I talk like this even to these young girls who are, they got a little boyfriend. I understand you want your little puppy love, but you have to be careful too. Vice versa with the woman. I've growing up in school where, and even in private school, where they used to tell some of the girls to, make sure to take care of their hair because they could get lice. And see, those are things that you need to worry about. We're getting lice and transferring that lice into the school, transferring that lice when you're in a hotel. That lice can go anywhere, bed bugs. All of these things are very serious that can cause harm to you. And these are that do not have no antidote or antibiotic. That's something that you can go overnight. It's not like a headache. Please, you all. There's a coronavirus or epidemic, any other type of virus that's out there, like pneumonia. Some of you could get real bad pneumonia. I've had it when I was younger. It's not something that, hey, I could just take a pill in 2 minutes, it's gone. It doesn't work that way. This is very serious. If it was not serious, people, there would not be a government shutdown. They would not be closing the schools. They would not be closing the government offices. They would not be closing the post office. They would not be closing some of the restaurants. So if it wasn't that bad, but it is. It's just that bad. So when something like this is just that bad, you have to be careful and mindful of what you do and how you do at all times. Now, I know people that since this outbreak, it's been mind setting, it's been upsetting with the family. They're having to make readjustments. I understand that. But we're going to be all right. If we learn to just do what we need to do and put things in perspective and protocol, we're going to be fine. People, it's very serious. I feel like this is the time now that you are parents that have teenage sons or teenage daughters. You sit down, you talk with them, even little adolescents. This is the time to come together as a family. Some people don't even understand that if you want to talk religious, this may be God's way of bringing everybody together. When everybody was busy doing their own thing, running this way, running that way, I got this to do, I got that to do. This is maybe a way that God can bring families together and time, because, we do not know what tomorrow will bring. And so live each day as is your last. That's what the Bible used to say. Live each day as a Sunday, as a blessing. But at the same time, spending time with your family and talking about these issues. Don't sit here and just say, well, we don't want to talk about it. Let tomorrow take care of tomorrow. Yes, the Bible does say that not to worry about what you're going to eat or wear or dress, or, tomorrow will take care of itself. But in the natural sense, we have to worry, because once we go out that door, we catch all kind of antibiotics and bacteria in the air. And so even though you have to go and take care of errands, we have to be careful. When you're going to the grocery store, you don't know if the cashier has washed their hands, he or she, with the baggers. We're not discriminating anybody, but what we're saying is, even if you're an employee or an employer, you must wash your hands and take care of yourself, because it's vice versa with customers protecting themselves as well as the employees and employers taking care of themselves as well. Even when you go to the bank, they're transferring money back and forth. Amen. And it's very serious. So this thing is not, or shall I say, it's not something that you could take if you got an upset stomach and oh, I just going to take a pill and lay down for a couple hours and then boom, I'm finished. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So they are in the bridge right now, are saying that they're testing different type of antibiotics or different type of medication that can slow down the immune system. But they didn't say it's going to cure. They just said to slow down the immune system. So I'm coming before you because I want you all to be healthy. I want to see the kids laughing and playing and enjoying life. I want to see them grow up to be kings and queens, daughters of Zion, men of armor. Doesn't matter whether you're black or white. I want to be able to see our children be productive and our families growing to be successful. But right now, we are in a position that this gives us a chance to talk and think about things, because we take things for granted. This is not something that Obama did. Let me just get that clear. But Obama did not bring this disease on. All right. I'm going to say Trump didn't bring the disease on. No president brought the disease on. It's something that happened. It's just like if you get pregnant. They're not responsible if you get pregnant. If you cannot take care of that child, I have that, finance to take care of. Or if you're struggling with one and you go out there making 5 others, they're not responsible for the 5 others because you chose that. The same thing with this virus. They're not responsible for that. It's something that happened. It's an epidemic that is there. And, there's all kinds of viruses, diseases, infection, and body fluids that's passed around. But the thing about it is being able to have something that can control the spread of this epidemic. That's the job of the leader. But because right now there is no antidote, so we have to be our own antidote. We have to take care of ourselves. That means drinking plenty of fluids. If it means drinking plenty of water, if it means getting out exercise daily, just walking, maybe for 30 minutes, reading and spending time with your family, get your mind on, get out and for some fresh air, but be mindful about things and how you interact, and even in your own home, and how you entertain people. Because when I say entertain people, I mean it's in the ministry. They always say, be careful about those spirits that you entertain, because yes, spirits can come in and just take over your whole house. You can't have everybody sitting on your toilet, because then you and your family have to sit behind that toilet. You can't have everybody touching your phone. Sometimes like people ask me, can I use your phone? And I'll tell them no, because I don't know what that person has. I'll dial the number for them, or whatever. But you have to be careful. It's not about worshiping these idols. It's not about worshiping these houses, these cars and stuff. It's the idea of your immune system when you have to sit on that chair yourself, or when you have to sit at that table, or those of you that are employed and have to use computers and different things that for your job. And then somebody else, if you're a bus driver and you got off that ship, and then somebody's taking a second ship and they having to put their hand on their steering wheel, and the accelerator and different things. It is really serious. Even in your car, sometimes you have to tell people, listen, I don't mind taking you for a ride and taking you to your destination, but please do not smoke in my car, please do not eat in my car, please do not, certain things they just have to understand before they get in your car. You're not being mean, you're just saying no. Even in the ministry, so you don't have to hug up on people all the time. You're not showing them love. It's right now, the enemy can come into the church too. We showing all the love, but then Satan can come in there too and bring his legions in there. Amen. And before you know it, it is an epidemic in the ministry. So we have to be mindful and be careful. And women, we have to take care of our bodies. It does not matter what time of day or situation may be. We have to take it all the time. Even before this epidemic ever, as Trump called it, pandemic, even before it even started. These are things we should have been doing a long time ago, not for God to allow something to happen to get us on the track. We should have been washing ourselves, cleaning ourselves, make sure we have certain products. I understand some people cannot afford certain things, so you just use a generic brand. Amen. Because like with my face, I don't use soap on my face. If I use anything like that, it has to be Johnson Johnson baby soap, or Noxzema, or some type of oil or something on my face. And that's during the day. But, that's in the morning when I wake up, and during the day when I wake up. And when I go to take my shower, I have body wash. I have a certain type of body wash that I use. But I have a certain washcloth that I use, certain towel that I use. And then it's another thing, people got to also understand this. When you're doing laundry, that's another thing where bacteria comes in. You're going to have to separate clothes. You're not being mean, but those things causes bacteria. And some of you, I know, like in my family, I've seen where they have mixed dirty and clean clothes together. Then we end up having to wash all of them. So kids, be mindful. I would suggest that some of your parents in your kids' room get them a laundry bag and teach them. You know, if you got to get 2 separate laundry bags in them, one for the white clothes, one for the dark clothes, or when they come from sports, they get a sports bag that they put their sweat clothes off in that bag, because right now this epidemic is very serious and it can even hit your home. Amen. Everywhere you go, it can hit. So I am asking all of you to be mindful, to take care of yourself. And right now there is no antibiotics. Okay, it's not a magic pill. No matter what Trump tell you, that's a lie. Because if that's the case, there are people in his cabinet who have been tested positive. And none has ever come to say, listen, I took this great pill and I'm well. And it's not like that. And he is saying that, you know, just go get tested. You can't do that because they may not have enough antibiotics to go around with everybody. Amen. And then some hospitals, you have to make appointments. So we have to be mindful and be careful about ourselves and take care of ourselves. And I understand it's causing anxiety right now because between you and your family or your friends or the people you love one, but be very careful. And those of you that have loved ones that live in the house with you, like a grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle that are bedridden, sometimes you got to be careful about people coming in wanting to touch grandmama, want to touch granddaddy. You know, they can just say hi. And, you know, I'm talking about visitors that come because they are very prone to these immune system. And because their immune system is weak, they're able to catch it quicker than we are. Amen. So be very careful about that. Even when you go in a facility, you're going to have to check that facility because making sure they keep these places clean, you know, because it's very serious. It's very sad. Make sure they turn grandmama, granddad every 2 hours, changing them. Because a lot of time what some of these girls would do, it depends on their shift. I've been in a facility where, you know, if you have a 7 to 3 shift, they'll go all day with the patient, stay like the way it is. Then they wait till they're closer to their time to get off. Then they'll take care and wash the patient, get them dressed for their bed. I mean, a lot of time when if your loved one tells you that I didn't go to the bathroom or they didn't feed me or they be telling the truth. It's not about their dementia or Alzheimer's mind. They are telling the truth. And you have to watch out for. A lot of times these bed sores and gangrene and all the stuff that happen to their feet is because no one's taking care of them. No one's really periodically with them. And I understand because they got shortness of staff. But this is the time now that I educate a lot of you all to go out and get yourself educated so they can have a lot of staff. Even if you have to go out there and take time out and take care of grandmama and granddad and watch them and do what you have to do. And then the nurses can do the rest. Because half of the time they just get sponge bath. They don't get showers. And half of the time they don't use soap on them. You know, some of them can't take soap, but they still be smelling. Some of them don't have what we call the chugs or the draw sheet under them. And that acid be on their skin and it burns. So I'm telling you, these are very serious. So if it burns and hurt them, and being that they are incapacitated inside facility, then imagine what it's like for us, and we able to walk. So we have to keep taking care of ourselves, men and women. Amen. If you have to change your underwear 3 and 4 times a day, do what you got to do. Take 2 showers a day. Do what you have to do. Take care of yourself. Keep your hands clean all the time. Even before you wash the dishes. That's what I do now. I wash my hands before dishes. Then I load up this thing and soap and my little Clorox in it before I put my dishes in. And then once my dishes and stuff are washed, dry, and put up, then I wash my hands again. I mean, even though it's just me. You know, amen. Even though it's just me and my husband, but the idea that I keep in the habit of it. You know, sometimes you got to get in the habit of, you know, making sure everything is wiped down. You know, some of you got products in there that you can use within your home, like Pledge and ammonia, Clorox, Comment, Ajax, whatever you have to do. Get the kids in the habit of doing that too as well. So that when the time they get ready to go back to school the next year, if they decide the shutdown is going to be all through the school year, and this is it, because you know the kids only have 2 more months of school. This is March, April, May. Some get out of school in the South in May, and the rest of you don't get out to June. So some of you got 3 months. So This is the time now for 3 months to give the kids a chance to take care of themselves and get them in the habit of cleaning, get them in the habit of their bodies and things, and take care of them, teach them. The Bible said to train up a child in the way that they should go, that they would not depart from it. So this is the time to teach them now. Amen. Teach them now at early age. Teach them. So when they decide, or you decide to send them back to school, they will already be ready for this. And the teachers themselves will be prepared. Right now, there's some schools are doing virtual classes. And so if you got computers, like I said, wipe them off, keep them clean. Kids, those who got computers, sometimes you can't have your friends over there all the time playing the game. I know some of you got games, and sometimes you got to spray those games, the controllers too. When you're passing one controller to the next person, it's very serious. So please, I beg you to take care of yourselves. And I want to be able to hear good news about my people. Nothing sad. Amen. So you may catch me tonight on my Facebook page. Amen. But I just want to say that I love you all, and I wanted to share the information with you all, to all my ladies and my men. And please, to take care of yourself, help your children, come together, talk about these issues. I know it sounds bad, or in a way that, why we need to be talking about this. The same way you could talk about sexually transmitted disease, the same way you could talk about pregnancy, like where babies come from and all that other stuff. And same way you all can go out there and juke and jive with your friends. This is the time you can spend time with your family. I believe that God allows us to have this moment with your family and spending time with them and talk about issues. Even if it sounds as the hardest issues and topics to talk about, this is something to really talk about and getting in the habit of it. Amen. So I love you. May God bless you. Amen.